कंपटीशन उनका होता है जिनके पेरेंट्स इंडस्ट्री में होते हैं या गॉडफादर्स होते हैं. आउटसाइडर्स का कोई कंपटीशन नहीं होता.
I, after noticing the industry from a close as well as far lens, have come to the conclusion that it is one of the most oscillating professions one can be a part of. Being a semi-organized industry, the sense of security in most structured settings is completely absent, and more or less is dependent on the likelihood of other people wanting to work with you. A more millennial or Gen Z parallel would be how on YouTube everyone works in their ecosystems, whereas on Instagram people are dependent on brands to approach them in order to have a consistent revenue stream. Needless to say, this lack of structure and rules in the industry leads to rubbing people the wrong way and a lot of ego battles due to the existence of favoritism and preferences. Here is taking a look at the existence of cliques in the industry and some anecdotes where individuals were either ostracized for speaking out or were considered problematic, leading to irreparable professional consequences. So here is Tried&Refused Productions with 8 shocking stories of rejection in Bollywood that surprised everyone. BIJENDRA, an actor that has been doing character roles since the early 2000s and so convincingly is the veteran actor BIJENDRA, still consistently making iconic appearances in movies like Zero and Gulabo Sitabo. The man has had his fair share of hurdles to cross, and I was shocked to hear what happened to him regarding the project Besharam. It isn't an anecdote of mistreatment but an important reflection of the constantly changing decisions in the Hindi film industry. The very fact that you might not see your role see the light of day in theatres even after signing the dotted line. BIJENDRA stated that he was playing a negative character for Besharam, had shot for 10 days, and then was told he isn't in the film anymore. The already scheduled 20-day shoot was chucked out of the window, and the actor was compensated for only 10 days and was told to leave. That's besides the point that the movie turned out to be a comedic disaster, but it just gets to show you that there are no guarantees in the film industry. Krish. What a lot of people seem to have forgotten is what transpired behind the scenes in the movie Manikarnika. The news portals labelled Krish as a problematic creator, not open to changes. Sonu Sood was labelled as a sexist, not wanting to work with a female director mid-shoot. For anyone who has seen Krish over the years, and Telugu-speaking individuals can especially vouch for this, has never been a man to dwell into controversy for the sake of it. His talent also cannot be discounted. People will always refer to his 2010 and 2008 film Vedam and Gamyam to remind you of that. Manikarnika eventually was co-directed by Kangana Ranaut, who took over the director's chair, citing creative differences regarding the vision of the film. Krish, who was perturbed by the way the media was presenting his side of the story, especially after Ranaut's claim that she had shot 70% of the film as a director, had this to say.
It's like Sonu Sood is wrong, Krish is wrong, Atul is wrong, XYZ is wrong, and Kangana is a saint and coming and saving everyone. Sir, you see the teaser. Until October 1st, I was the director. When the trailer came, my name it came under.
There's always two sides of the coin. It's just what's convenient for people that they want to only focus on one aspect. Radhika Madan. One of the new generation actors that I have a lot of respect and admiration for is Radhika Madan, an actor that has solely proven her worth as a performer with impressive performances in films like Pataka and Mard Ko Dard Nahi Hota, and is one of the prime examples of an actor that has transitioned from television into film seamlessly. But of course, with the absence of familial connections, to position yourself as a leading lady, especially in commercial Hindi films, becomes an uphill battle. Talking about her consistent problems with favoritism in the industry, she spoke about an instance where she had to beg to convince a director who was considering a star kid for the role on the Untold Story segment on the Pink Villa channel.
Producer told me that I'm giving it to so-and-so's daughter. My team was after his life. I was after his life. I was like, just take my audition. I'm not asking for anything else. He agreed. I gave the audition and I got the role.
A clear example of how the industry in many ways is not a meritocracy. A constant struggle to at least convince people to see what they have in them as actors is a constant battle. Abhinav Kashyap. One of the most talked about revelations that happened recently was that of Dabangg director Abhinav Kashyap and the systemic ostracization he felt, especially from Arbaz Khan and his family. Abhinav Kashyap stated that the reason he stepped out of making Dabangg 2 was because he experienced consistent bullying by Arbaz Khan and Sohail Khan that sabotaged his film projects with Sri Ashtavinayak Films as well as Viacom 18 Pictures, supposedly bullying the producers not to sign him, also stating that there were smear campaigns to sabotage the release of of Beshram when it was finally picked up by Reliance. Arbaz and his family vehemently denied these claims, stating that they parted on professional terms and have taken legal action against the director for defaming their name with these posts. Govinda. A lot of people, including me, seeing many of Govinda's recent interviews, felt that he is out of touch with the pulse of what audiences want and still wants to appear in the dated formulaic films of the 90s that made him so popular. Where the actor has struggled to make a comeback in the last 5 years, no one can deny at one point of time he was ruling the commercial Bollywood scene. Govinda, surprisingly, in an interview with Bollywood Hangama with Faridun, who you have to commend by the way for conducting such brilliant interviews, stated that during that reign of back-to-back hits, how he was scheduled to do a movie called Jodwa and what transpired.
वो पिक्चर आप कर रहे हो जुड़वा, वो आप बंद कर दीजिए, वो मुझे दे दीजिए और डायरेक्टर भी आपको मुझे देना पड़ेगा और वो प्रोड्यूसर भी मैंने आप ही का ले लिया, साजिद नरेड वाला. तो वो चलती फिल्म वहाँ पे ठहरा दी गई, रोक दी गई और बंद कर दी गई और वो सलमान के दे दी गई थी.
It tells you a great deal on the benevolence of the actor who maybe, just maybe, didn't even notice he got strong-armed away from a project. VIJAY Varma, an extremely talented actor that is finally getting recognition after his brilliant performance in Gully Boys VIJAY Varma. Since then, he has bagged project after project and is finally appearing in discussions and debates with the mainstream media. It has of course been an arduous journey to reach this destination that commenced from Chittagong in 2012. The actor stated in a midday interview that he has been rejected several times from films, which is part and parcel of the industry. Like he missed out on bagging the role in LSD, which eventually went to Rajkumar Rao. But shockingly, also stated that he was removed from projects even after being finalized, like what happened to him for Sacred Games.
Yeah, it happened on Sacred Games, I remember. They had locked me for one of the parts, one of the significant parts, and then they changed their mind. Mode one is, and Netflix and Mukesh and everybody had zeroed out. Anurag was changing his mind last minute and he threw me out.
Sharman Joshi. Every 90s kids remembers the two comedies Style as well as Excuse Me, and what the movie clearly established was that Sharman Joshi might have one of the best comic timings in the Hindi film industry. The actor, despite doing films like Rang De Basanti and Three Idiots, has sadly never really been in the framework of discussions of some of the best talents we have in the industry. Each performance he had left such a considerable impact, but no one really gives him his due credit both with films as well as the media covering him in interviews. If anyone remembers the first Golmaal that released in 2006, according to me the best of the franchise, Sharman Joshi as Lakshman was absolutely hilarious, but audiences were extremely bummed not to see him reappear in the second installment. Despite the actor trying to mend what was already broken, Joshi was removed from the franchise.
The second one, it's already, they threw out.
Yeah.
Why?
My manager was negotiating. I think some egos were ruffled and it came down to me not doing the film.
VIVEK Oberoi. The actor was in the trajectory of becoming one of the biggest Bollywood stars after his debut with Company, and I'm not saying this in retrospect, but the proof was in the pudding. An actor who could assimilate in a Mani Ratnam film with the same ease as he could do in a Yash Raj film. Everything was designed for a bright future to set Oberoi as the next big star, but when in 2003, Oberoi came out with a press conference referencing bullying by Salman Khan, articulating supposedly the nasty language used by the actor over the phone, everyone denounced the behavior as slander and labelled Oberoi as having lost his marbles. The actor felt a complete cornering by the film industry and visibly noticed that a lot of his work had dried up due to the event.
कुछ लोगों के फोन्स आ गए थे और कहने लगे थे डोंट वरी तुमने बहुत सही किया है, बहुत सॉलिड किया है, वी आर विद यू वगैरह वगैरह, बट उसके बाद सब गायब हो गए और फिर सडनली मेरे पीछे किसी का सपोर्ट नहीं था. जितने लोग मुझे कह रहे थे कि ये करना चाहिए इस तरह, वो भी अपने मेरे सबसे करीब लोग भी मुझसे दूर हो गए, थोड़े से हट गए कि भाई ये हमारी रिस्पांसिबिलिटी नहीं है.
The actor since then has persevered from all the hardships and has consistently tried to experiment with acting roles in several industries. It does make you wonder though whether Oberoi would be judged in the same light if these events were to incur in the current climate. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below whether you have some video ideas for our channel. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.